There is a homemade air conditioner that costs about $20, made from an old tire that was headed for the trash. It blows air cold enough to cool a hot room, using nothing but water, ice, and a fan. No compressor, no refrigerant, no expensive unit on your wall. It comes together from parts most people already have. And the air that pours out the front is noticeably colder than the air that went in. A real air conditioner costs thousands and runs your bill up all summer. So here's the question nobody selling those machines wants to answer. If a discarded tire and a bucket of water can do this, why did we ever stop making our own? Let's find out. To understand why this works, you first have to understand what a normal fan actually does. A fan does not cool air. It never has. All it does is move air around, and that moving air helps the sweat on your skin evaporate, making you feel slightly cooler for a moment. But the air itself stays exactly as hot as it was. On a brutal summer day, a fan is just pushing the same hot air across your face. That is the wall every fan hits. It moves heat around the room, but it cannot remove a single degree of it. This homemade cooler breaks through that wall with a piece of physics you already understand without realizing it. Step out of a pool on a hot day and you shiver, even though the air is warm. Stand near a waterfall and the air feels cooler. That chill is evaporation. When water turns into vapor, it has to grab energy to make the jump, and it grabs that energy as heat, pulling it straight out of the surrounding air. The air left behind is genuinely colder. This whole design aims that effect at a room on purpose. So how does a setup like this pull cold air out of nothing but water? The heart of it is an evaporative cooling pad, the honeycomb-style material found inside store-bought air coolers. Its job is to hold a large amount of water across a huge surface area while still letting air pass through. That combination is the whole secret. The more wet surface the air travels across, the more water evaporates, and the more heat gets stripped away. A pad kept constantly soaked turns a simple stream of air into a cold one. Keeping that pad soaked is where the water does its quiet work. Water trickles down through the honeycomb channels so every part stays damp, and a small circulating motion keeps fresh water moving, so the pad never dries out and never stops cooling. When a fan pulls warm room air straight through that wet pad, the air gives up its heat to the evaporating water, and what comes out the other side is genuinely cooler than what went in. And the clever part is the housing, an old 17-inch car tire headed for a landfill. A tire turns out to be an almost perfect shell for this. It's hollow, so its center holds the water. Its rim is just the right size to cradle a household fan. And its thick rubber wall insulates the cold water inside from the hot air outside, helping it hold its chill longer. A thing most people throw away becomes the body, base, and water reservoir all at once, which is why the whole setup costs almost nothing. The expensive part of cooling was never the materials. It was the machine we were told we had to buy. There is one more piece of physics that takes this from cool to genuinely cold. Ice. When ice is added to the water circulating onto the pad is no longer room temperature. It's near freezing. So the air passing through isn't only cooled by evaporation, it's also brushing against a freezing wet surface at the same time. Two cooling effects stack, and the air that comes out gets dramatically colder than evaporation alone could manage. It's the same reason a fan blowing across a bowl of ice feels so much colder than a fan alone. Except here, the cold is spread across a huge wet surface the air must travel through. For as long as that ice lasts, the system punches far above its $20 price. And this isn't a theory. People put these together, film them, and feel the result the instant they switch it on. A real, refreshing wall of cool air, strong enough to take the edge off a hot afternoon. Now let me be honest with you, because honesty is the only thing that makes this useful. This is not a magic machine that turns your living room into the Arctic, no matter what a thumbnail tells you. It is an evaporative cooler with an ice boost. And that means two real things. First, it works best in dry heat. Dry air soaks up evaporating water hungrily and gives up its heat fast, so the cooling is strong. In humid, sticky air, the effect is weaker. Second, the ice does not last forever. The coldest air comes while the ice is melting, so for sustained cooling, the ice has to be topped up. But notice what those limits are and what they are not. They're reasons this isn't a whole house replacement for central air. They are not reasons it doesn't work. For one room, a workshop, or a hot bedroom on a dry summer night, this genuinely cools, for the price of a bag of ice and a fan you already own. So if it's this cheap, this simple, and this effective, why isn't this in every hothouse in the country? Why did we all hand this over to a machine on the wall? The honest answer is part convenience, part business. A real air conditioner is effortless. Set a number and forget it. This needs water and ice topped up. That's a fair trade-off. But the bigger reason is the one nobody says out loud. There is no company that profits from teaching you to cool your own air with a junk tire and a fan. No installation fee, no monthly bill, no service contract, no replacement unit in 10 years. It can't be sold to you, so it was never advertised to you. The expensive machine got marketed, the homemade one got forgotten. We didn't lose this knowledge because it stopped working. We lost it because someone found a way to bill us monthly for the alternative. A working air conditioner made from a thrown-away tire sounds too good to be true, but it isn't a trick, and it isn't new. It's simple physics, dressed up in something most people throw in a dumpster. And it's just one of many quiet, cheap fixes hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to ask why we ever made staying cool so expensive. If that's the kind of thing you want more of, subscribing is the simplest way to keep it finding you. And the next time someone says cold air requires a machine bolted to your wall, you'll know exactly what an old tire and a bag of ice can really do. We'll see you in the next one.